And we are live. Hello, everyone. Welcome to this Tuesday, 1 o'clock. I know it feels like a Monday, but yay, it's Tuesday already. And so we have our live now. Let me share my screen with you. We're still working on the building your personalized eating plan. There's a couple more weeks of it. I think this month is going to draw towards the end of this month. We're going to draw to a close on this and be able to actually put it down in writing our eating plan. But for now, we are going to be talking about drinking enough water. So that's today's topic. I'm sure you all know just how vital water is and what an important function it has in our bodies, but I'll work through all of this today. And again, water and drinking enough water is vital to get our physiology working at its best. And remember, the key is get your physiology working best and working well, and then your whole body will be able to get to its best. So let's get on with it. So why do we need water? I know there's a lot of you out there that are already drinking a lot of water and have that water bottle on you all the time, and it's easy for you to get enough water. But I have a lot of clients as well who struggle with their water and who just don't really like water. And it's a real struggle for them to get enough water in. And maybe when we know why we need it, it will make it a little bit more difficult. So the first thing that I want you to remember is that we are majority water. So 50 to 65% of us is water. And we don't notice this, but it's so important that we keep having to put back what we're losing. So what are the functions of water in our body? First of all, let's start at the top. When we eat food, that needs to get broken down, and water has a role in this. It also then carries and distributes all the nutrients from that food to all of our cells. And then, of course, we know that there's a whole lot of waste products and toxins that come about from these processes, and they need to be eliminated. So again, water plays a vital role in eliminating this. In terms of cortisol levels, now cortisol levels are the cortisol is the hormone that gets produced when you are extremely stressed, and water actually helps to flush out the cortisol. So when you are in a very stressed state, your body is generally not in a happy state. And so we need to ensure that these cortisol levels get worked through our bodies and eliminated so that it's not causing as much problems in our bodies. And water plus exercise is the other key there. But water will help to deal with this and help you to ultimately manage with your stress better. Water also plays a vital role in our body temperature. So we don't want to get too hot, we don't want to get too cold. So having enough water is vital for this too. And then of course it lubricates and it protects joints, spinal cord, brain, eyes, so many things. So we can see water is vital in our bodies. And if we don't have it, a lot of our functions won't function at their maximum. And this is why this section is again part of our physiology, because when we don't have enough water, your body cannot function at its best, and we cannot be our best then. So many reasons to drink water. So why do we keep losing water if it's so important? Okay, so we all know that we urinate and we go to the toilet hopefully pretty regularly in the day, but about 1.5 liters of water is lost in this way during the day. So it does depend on how much you're drinking. The more you drink, the more often you need to go. But there's a lot of water lost just by this process, and that's part of the toxin removal to a certain extent. So definitely urination will happen. Bowel movements, we need water in the bowel for the bowels to move through properly. If you struggle with constipation, one of the big reasons often is that not enough fluid is in the system. And so the bowels draw all the fluid out. And so there's not enough water in the bowels. And so they can't move through nicely. So we actually do lose quite a bit amount of water from our bowel movements. And of course, we know when we sweat, we lose water too. Now, this does depend on climate, first of all. We're going into winter now, so definitely less sweating happening. But it also depends on exercise. So the more you exercise, definitely, the more water you will need to drink. And then something just as simple as breathing, which we do all day long, also releases water. So as we can see, water is constantly being lost. And if water is constantly being lost, it makes perfect sense that we have to put it back in. Okay, and it's quite scary actually, but dehydration of the body happens a lot quicker than we actually think. Just a 5 to 10% water loss will lead to mild dehydration. And the kind of symptoms you would feel with mild dehydration is just lethargy. So you're feeling a little bit tired, you're not quite on top of your game, you could develop slight headaches. And a very, very common one is we just want to eat. Now, remember that the thirst and the hunger signal are often confused, as in if your body is not going to send out a thirst signal, it sends out a hunger signal instead. And the reason it does that is because food can bring a little bit of fluid into the system too. So the body is desperate for water, so it'll send out this hunger signal because it'll know you'll eat. Then you eat and your body gets fluid through that. Not nearly as nice or as much and as well as a glass of water, but definitely something that the body can work on. So if you think about those afternoons and you have that afternoon slump and you want to go and grab a cup of coffee to wake up or go and eat a snack, maybe what your body needs here is water. And water can really help you just to feel so much better and just sort out a whole lot of these afternoon dips that we get. I find just walking around, getting blood back into the brain, drinking a glass of water is often enough to get me feeling good. If my tummy is also telling me that it needs food, absolutely, food is not wrong in that afternoon session. I'm not saying you don't need it, but try water first, especially if you know you have been eating regularly in the day. Okay, just as an aside as well, in your body, water is actually stored with the muscle, not with the fat. So what this means is if you have a good amount of muscle in your water, your body water percentage will be much higher than if you don't have a lot of muscle. So the way to increase your body water is to increase your muscle. Or another way to do it, because it's a percentage, is just to lose body fat. So if you don't have too much muscle, but you've got a lot of body fat, just losing that body fat will increase the body percent water and thereby put you into a healthier place. So losing body fat can actually really help with your body water because muscle is where the water is held. How much water do we need? So ideally, our guideline is drink to thirst. But the problem is too many people don't get thirsty. And generally what I've seen is if you're drinking a good amount of water, you will get thirsty and your body will tell you in that way that it needs fluid. If you're not drinking water, then you don't get a thirst signal. And then you can literally go the whole day without drinking anything. So drinking to thirst, if you're drinking enough water, listen to your thirst and drink accordingly. If you're not drinking enough water, work out how much water you need. Try and get to that amount for the next couple of weeks, and you'll start seeing that thirst signal come in. So how much do we need? In terms of number of glasses, you work it out by taking your body weight in kilograms, you divide that by 10, and then you add 2 onto that answer. So for instance, if your weight is 73, then you just do 73 divided by 10, which is about 7, plus 2. So that's 9 glasses of water that you'd need in the day. And a glass of water is about 250 mils. So your commonly known, we need to drink 2 liters of water a day, is actually for your 60 kilogram person. If you weigh less than that, you don't need quite as much. If you weigh more than that, you do actually need quite a bit more. And when I say to people, this is how many glasses of water you need in a day, it does not include what you are going to be drinking while you're exercising or straight after exercise. So if you are exercising and you're sweating a lot, what you're drinking there is replacing the sweat. The other glasses that you need to drink is what gets lost in the body during the day through the breathing, urination, bowel movements. Okay, so try and get to that amount and don't count your exercise water as part of it. So where can I get my water from? The simple answer is the tap, but okay, so we can drink water. Just simply drink water, and it really doesn't matter whether we drink tap water, whether we drink still water, sparkling water. All of those are good forms of hydration. Drink what you enjoy. Food, as I said, food will also get you your water or your fluid. So depending on what food you drink, if you're going to eat something like a fruit or a nice veggie like a cucumber, you're going to get loads of fluid coming through the food. If you're going to eat something like a dried fruit or biltong, there's less because they have been dehydrated. Okay, so each food has its own amount of fluid, some more, some less. There's also a certain amount of water that gets created in the body because of reactions that are happening. And then the other way that we can get it is through an IV or a drip. So if you're in hospital and you're dehydrated, you generally get a drip put up. So the best rehydration fluid is water. So water should always be your number one answer, and it rehydrates the best. I believe that, and I see that with myself. Other drinks don't quite hydrate as well, but your milk can definitely get used as a glass of fluid. Your fruit juice can get used as a glass of fluid. Just want you to be very mindful with these two that they are also adding calories in. So not that that's a bad thing, they're healthy calories, but if you are needing to be weight conscious or want to remain weight stable, then you've got to just be more aware that these are that it might be extra energy that's coming in. And then another nice one is herbal teas. Generally your caffeine is not counted because caffeine on its own tends to take more water from the system rather than hydrate. Okay, so we don't count any caffeinated drinks, but we can count anything that is herbal or that has a lot of fluid in without caffeine. And here are a couple of tips to help you get into the habit of drinking water. It is just a habit you need to get into. So you just decide to make it your choice. Decide, I am going to drink a glass of water with each of my meals. And I'm 3 up already. Easy access is key. So what that means is if you're sitting at your desk and there's no water around, there's only your coffee mug that keeps getting filled up with coffee, you're not going to be very likely to drink water. If you have a bottle of water standing there or a jug with a glass, you are far more likely to be cued. It's there, you see it, you will grab it from time to time. Okay. Cars, if you spend a lot of time in your car, keep a water bottle in the car, a filled water bottle, should I say. Once it's empty, fill it up again. Easy just to get through a bottle of water if you've got a half-hour drive. When you get ready in the morning and you're brushing your teeth and you're sorting yourself out, make yourself drink a glass or a bottle of water. Then you're already so far into the water intake. Starting the day with a nice warm glass of water with a lemon slice is a lovely way to start the day. No necessarily added benefits or magic coming from it, but it tastes good if you enjoy that taste, and it feels good, and you got a glass of water in. Sometimes just drinking from a bigger glass can make a difference. So We've got tiny glasses. It's going to take 16 glasses to get there. Bigger glass, 8 glasses feels so much more doable. Also good if you know, we're not really in the office environments that much anymore. Definitely don't have anyone sitting too close to us. But generally, if you have someone in the office with you that is good about their water, ask them to encourage you. Get them to tell you to go get the water instead of the snack. There's also loads of apps that you can pop onto your phone that will remind you to drink water. You have to log the water. I find them highly irritating, but by the time they're so irritating that you want to remove them, you're normally in a better habit already. And then make sure you make your water in a way that you enjoy it. If you like plain water, drink it plain. If you need to zhuzh it up with a lemon, with some mint, with some cucumber, with some berries, do it. Jazz it up, make it interesting. Freeze it, great thing to do in summer, especially in our hot climate. Now as we get into the winter, it's not going to be as needed, but it's a lovely thing to do. Freeze some bottles, take them in the morning. They can also act as ice packs in your lunch bag and keep everything cooler. And then we just need to find cues to have water. So for instance, I always say to people, when you make your cup of coffee or tea, drink a glass of water while you're waiting for the water to boil. If you go to the toilet on your way back, you go via the kitchen and drink a glass of water. Find things where you pair the water with, and it will become so second nature that soon the thirst signal will come through and you'll be drinking loads and everything will feel and work so much better. And that's it from us today. I hope you've enjoyed the water talk, and I hope you're inspired to drink more water, or at least to try and drink more water. Join us again next week as we talk about the last of the physiological aspects to getting your body right. And then have a fantastic week, and we will see you again soon.